fight for freedom wherever there's trouble. GI Joe is there. GI Joe, a real American hero. GI Joe is there. It's GI Joe against Cobra, the enemy, fighting to save the day. He never gives up, he's always there, fighting for freedom over land and air. GI Joe, a real American hero. GI Joe is there.
Hey everybody, Crystal Clear 101 here with another toy review. I have a GI Joe Retaliation figure, and this one is Ultimate Firefly. He came out in late 2013. He was part of the Ultimate series that was under the Retaliation name, and his retail was $9.99. I do not have packaging for him, but I did go ahead and tell you that his packaging was no different than a standard GI Joe Retaliation figure package. Which would have the GI Joe Retaliation logo. It also have Dwayne Johnson's Roadblock and Snake Eyes, top of the packaging. But what's interesting to note is even though this one is called Ultimate Firefly, on his packaging it would not say Ultimate Firefly, it would just say Firefly. Now, just to give an example, I do have an Ultimate Storm Shadow right here. Now on Ultimate Fireflies, his would just say Firefly across over here. This entire space over here would be blank. But this is the second version of Firefly for the Retaliation line. And give you my personal opinion, I actually like this one better than I do the first version. Number one is I just like the way this one looks a whole lot better than the first one. Your first one was a no mask variant. In other words, you can see the character's face. This one, he's actually a mask variant. And to me, he actually does resemble more of his 80s self. This makes me think of the Firefly from back in the 80s, from the A Real American Hero line. But aside from the way he looks, I also like his accessories a lot better than I did with the first one. Now, the first big difference between this one and the first one, obviously, let me go ahead and tell you that I will have a separate segment for this right here. I think this is the coolest little accessory you can get with any GI Joe figure. On top of that, just from my experience with the Cobra Commander that came out early on, this one actually has a dog tag. Well, not a dog tag, but it actually has a little figure stand, something you can actually place the figure on. Because that was one of the things I do like about GI Joe figures, is the simple fact that they would actually provide you with a little stand to put the figure on. You know, if you weren't going to play with him, you could at least display him. So the fact that he actually included the figure stand, by the way, this particular stand is the same kind that was used for the Rise of Cobra line from 2009. So it's a little dog tag. I mean, it's got the two little pegs, and it's also got a little hole at the top up here so you can, you know, actually wear it on a necklace, on a chain if you wanted to. So I think that by itself is pretty neat. And on top of that, I do like the way this particular one looks, because to me this one just, you know, it has that movie look, but at the same time it does make me think of the original Firefly from the 80s. So the mixture of the two, to me, I like that. To be frank, it's almost like an update of your original Firefly. Another thing I do like about this one compared to other GI Joes I have fooled with, especially when you're talking about the movie ones, is that he doesn't come with nearly as many accessories as the other ones. I mean, for instance, Ultimate Roadblock, from what I can count from him in the packaging, he has at least 15 or 16 accessories, which is nice for display options, but as far as keeping up with them, it's a pain. This one, most of them you can keep them on him, so they're easy to keep. So it's easier to keep track of. The only thing you really have to worry about is like a couple of loose parts, like a knife and a missile. That's it. As far as that goes, I really have no complaints about this figure whatsoever. And this, in my opinion, is probably one of the single coolest accessories that come with any GI Joe figure. And it is exactly what it looks like. It's a little HISS tank. It's a little HISS tank drone. Now, this one is based off of the 2010 Pursuit of Cobra HISS tank. And to me, that particular HISS tank looked both menacing, intimidating, but at the same time, it looked very cool. It gave a more modern look to your standard HISS tank. But what's interesting to note about this, this is a fairly large accessory for a GI Joe figure. Now, what's interesting to note is that the chin-mounted gun right here, this is removable. This can be held by Firefly or any other Joe figure. But let me go ahead and just give a better look at that gun. I mean, it's not supposed to be anything in particular, but as you can see, it does have a handlebar right up here. This is removable. And it does have a little pistol grip on the end of it. But aside from it mounting a gun in the nose, hold on, let me get this back in focus. There we go. This also comes with a red missile. And this does function as a missile launcher. Matter of fact, but if you ask me, this right here would probably be one of the reasons to pick up this version of Firefly. Because not only do I like the way this particular figure looks better, but on top of that, his overall accessories, to me, just look far cooler than the first one. Weapons and accessories for Ultimate Firefly consist of a Remington 870 Shorty shotgun, a pistol, which appears to be based on an H&K USP, a removable black Alice pack, which has a printed Cobra emblem at the top, a pair of combat knives, a HISS tank drone, which is based off the 2010 Pursuit of Cobra HISS tank, which can be displayed with either the HISS tank drone's main gun in the nose, or can be displayed in a GI Joe figure's hands. It can also be displayed with a red missile, which can be fired from the HISS tank itself. And lastly, a dog tag display stand, which was something that was missing with early GI Joe Retaliation figures. An articulation for Ultimate Firefly consists of ball-jointed head, ball-hinge shoulders, ball-hinge elbows, swivel wrists, ball-jointed waist, ball-jointed hips, double-hinged knees, and ball-hinge ankles. And what's my personal verdict on the Retaliation Ultimate Firefly? If you're a fan of this particular character, if you love Firefly, then I highly suggest you get this one. I mean, he looks awesome. He comes with some awesome accessories. Main one I go on about is the little mini HISS tank drone. But this figure looks awesome. He comes with only a few accessories, but you know, it's stuff you can easily keep track of. And on top of that, again, he just looks flat out sweet. I'm personally not a big fan of Firefly, but if you are, then by all means pick this one up. I mean, this is one of the Retaliation figures that, in my personal opinion, is really worth getting. But that'll wrap up my review on the GI Joe Retaliation Ultimate Firefly. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe.